help me feed my daughter midnight. Yes, we are back again with Mary asking for money again. Well, Mary and Brandon asking for money again, but this time using their daughter midnight as a bargaining tool. Now using their daughter to try and get some more money. But trust me when I tell you, this is nothing. This is just the beginning. But one thing that I do want to point out is that this post was made 3 days ago. Now also on top of that, we're going to go into the little description that comes with it. Hi, my name is Mary from 90 Day Finance. Obviously it's meant to say fiance, and I need help. I don't have a job and everything is so expensive, and midnight just isn't getting the proper amount of food. So please, anything helps. So here's the thing. The fact that these two are in a position where they are still asking for money is crazy to me. It is absolutely nuts to me. Make it make sense, because you've already exposed yourself for lying about your mistake of having cancer. And now you're in a position where you're now asking for more money, but this time for your child. And you've also did the thing where you asked for money before, you got the money, but then you didn't even refund the money knowing that you didn't even have the cancer in the first place. But for some reason, Mary and Brandon think it's still okay for them to be on this journey of asking for money, as if the public is absolutely stupid. Now, don't get me wrong, there were definitely going to be some people who are going to watch them and going to be like, of course we'll give them that money. We feel so sorry for them, because those are the people who are not subscribers of this channel and not alert of the news. So come on guys, we are now finally at 50. We are now on the road to 60k before the end of March. That is a whole another 10k people. It's a lot to ask for, but I genuinely believe that we can make it there. As long as everybody subscribes. I know the video circulates around YouTube and so many people come and watch the content, but don't always necessarily subscribe. So if you could all subscribe, I believe we can get to that 60k. Come on now. Believe with me by subscribing. Now with that being said though, now we're going to get into the other nitty and gritty, because you see, this is one post that was made 3 days ago. But then I decided to try and find the actual post in particular, and that's why I came across a new one from Brandon and Mary, you see. Now this one itself in particular says, please help my family. And this one is asking for 5,000 has to go. And then obviously here it does say that Mary is the organizer fundraiser. And then of course it says that this was uploaded about 3 hours ago. I think it's probably about 4 hours now since I last saw it. But also on top of that, it says, hi, I'm Mary from 90 Day Finance and I'm asking for anyone's help. Midnight isn't getting enough. I need help with clothes, formula, diapers, anything help. Again, anything helps. Please don't judge me and my family. We are good people. Love you all. Now, there's only one thing that has, two things should I say, that has made me think to myself, for some reason, this may not actually be Mary and Brandon. And I know that sounds wild. And trust me, I'm not trying to defend them too, because I do genuinely believe that this is probably them. But I've got to be fair. Okay, and I've got to be able to identify some of the faults, shall I say, within the post. So therefore, you know, I'm not being a bully. Now, here's the thing that I realized about both posts. This one itself in particular is advertised in 5K. Sorry, in dollars. This one is advertised in dollars. And then also on top of that, when you look at the account here with Mary, obviously there's no picture, and also the last name is with a lowercase d. Now, in the first one itself in particular, this one is advertised in pounds. Okay. And her name now is obviously advertised with an uppercase D. Now, here's the thing. And also on top of that, this one here is advertised as if she lives in the UK. Meanwhile, this one here is advertised as if she lives in New York. Now, here's the thing. I know that there is a history. Well, not history, but I do know that Mary has a tendency to use different profiles, different names. And I know what you're thinking. What do you mean by different profiles? What do you mean by different names? So this is where I flip it back. First, I want to identify that this may not be Mary, but then now I'm in a position where I'm like, you know what, this may still be Mary and Brandon, because, well, this is where it gets interesting, you see. Now, someone sent something to me the other day and they notified me to allow me to know that Mary has another name that she uses for her social media accounts, or at least she used before, you know, obviously she existed with the whole Brandon Mary. And this is pretty much what I came across. What I came across here is that Mary uses a name called Ace. I'm not too sure what this whole Ace thing is about, but as you can see, this is the name that she uses in this profile. Now, this is in particular has not been active for, I believe, 2019, but at this time, okay, I want you to notice that she was also engaged at the same time as well. Now, there is a picture of her and the person that she was so-called engaged with, but I'm not going to expose their face, because at the end of the day, that's not my place right now. If it gets put on the internet by everybody else, then fair enough. Next time I make a video about this, if I have to, I'll just use the person's face. But for now, I don't want to be the first person to say this is him. But either way, though, we know that Mary has a history of being in a relationship before and the relationship not working out. Now, I do wonder this. Mary has a tendency where she likes to play the story of how she's always been neglected, how she's always been abandoned. Now, at first, we thought it was due to the fact that her parents were not in the picture. But in case you haven't seen the video, her parents have always been in her life. And I made a video about that. If you haven't seen it, go subscribe. And I mean, go watch it and subscribe. But you probably haven't seen it because you don't subscribe, so subscribe. But either way, though, it is quite interesting because in this one, it also shows, obviously, the school that she went to and also the fact that she was working a job as well at the same time, which definitely does bring questions. But the point being is this is evidence to say that Mary also has a history of course, like I said before, using other names. But this is just profile number one. Then there's another profile here as well. As you can see, Mary also has a tendency right here, as you can see, of also using another name. Now, it's interesting because see, this name itself in particular is the same name that was the same name that appeared when we found her parents. So when we found her parents, if you go back to that video, you will see the last name that they had was this one, which is obviously, I believe, Mary's actual birth last name. Okay, obviously now it's changed because she's married. But again, this one also is another profile that was used last again seen in 2019. And again, also around the same time where she was engaged. But the difference is in this one, it says for some reason she's from Vancouver. So this also explains the location part as well, because of course in the GoFundMes, she has two different locations, which made no sense. Okay, but again, though, the fact that we've got a history of her showing using different locations, using different profiles, using different names says a whole lot. And then also on top of that, she also has an old, once it loads up here, an old, as you can see here, Instagram account as well, with also that name itself in particular, but also showing that Mary is definitely somebody that has, flirted around and definitely used different names for different things and different profiles. Reasons why, who freaking knows? But of course, when it comes to Mary and Brandon right now, this is the profile. And this is another profile that Mary also uses as well. So right now, I've shown you guys 4 different profiles, 2 Facebook pages, 2 freaking Instagram pages, and this is not including that. This is not including the current Facebook page that she uses and also the current Instagram page that she uses. So the fact that she has different names on different platforms, it is rather concerning. Oopsie daisy, there was a mouth. That was a little pixelated, it's fine. But either way though, but this one's quite interesting because this one does say Brandon's wife. So this one has been updated to show that she's now Brandon's wife. But either way though, there's a lot of things that just don't seem to be adding up when it comes to Mary. And this, this having so many different profiles with so many different names, it makes you wonder what the hell was this girl always been up to her whole life? And what the hell is she trying to get up to now? Because this behavior is nothing but utterly embarrassing. You know what I mean? Nothing but utterly disappointing to see this, if you ask me personally. Now, with that being said though, this here was just the first part of the video to show you that, guys, right now it seems as if Mary is out here making GoFundMe. Made one 3 days ago. That one got shut down because that one I couldn't find no more. But then today now, as I was looking for that one, a new one appeared. And obviously you've seen that new one appear, which is very suspect, right? And obviously I've given you all the details of why those profiles probably are 100% Mary and they are not somebody else trying to make them. But who knows? I've just given you the evidence. But now we're going to get onto the last bit of the video. And this one here took me by storm. Yes, I don't know what to quite make of this one. Now, this one here, I found it on the 90 Day Fiance update page, okay? And the thing that I'm really trying to fathom is what is going on. And from what I understand, based on what people have said in the comments, so let me just disappear myself real quick. From what I understand, apparently, as you can see here, Brandon's got a dummy in his mouth. So people are assuming that maybe Brandon and Mary are now on this journey of trying to sell something called adult baby something. Yeah, just let that sink in. So I didn't realize that there's potentially there's this world of where adults can dress as babies, and apparently it's gonna make them money somehow because there's people out there that have these fetishes for adults behaving and dressing like babies, and maybe that's the content that they're trying to go into now. That is what's going on right now. This is one of the most weirdest things I've ever heard in my life. So I'm gonna leave it as that. I'm not gonna say any more. You know what I mean? But this is exactly, it seems to be the direction based on what people are saying. But also on top of that, this also does feel like as if we are now going to be on a journey that's eventually going to happen. It feels like it's been in there for a long time where Mary was probably going to end up at one point making a OnlyF account. And I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. I mean, listen, we have to wait and see, you know what I mean? And no, I will not be signed up to it. I've never signed up to an OF account in my life, and I never will. This isn't the place for that. But I'm pretty sure someone will, and we'll find out about it. And then obviously, I don't know, whatever needs to be talked about, we'll talk about it if there's anything to be talked about. But either way, though, right now, Brandon and Mary are on a mission of stupidity. GoFundMes, this nonsense, honestly, where does it get any better? And that's the problem. It doesn't get any better. And the worst thing is, like I always say, a child is involved in their freaking madness. This is absolutely disgusting. But with that being said, let me know what you're thinking down below in the comment section. We are on the road to 60K. Come on now. I know we can do it before the end of the month. Yeah. Anyway, peace.